What's up guys and welcome back. My name is Jake Towel. This is the art series where I share with you guys some art pieces throughout my art career, and today we have a very special piece. I know I say every time, but this is a very special piece, one I absolutely love. This one is a doozy. This one looks really cool. It's really intricate. So today we have tooth-finned string gilled shark. There's so many really cool little details within this piece, and there's a lot to talk about in this piece, and there's a lot of inspiration I got from this from past art pieces as well, and we're really in the nitty-gritty here. We're really getting into the good stuff, and I'm really excited to talk about it. So let's get right into the sketch phase. All right, welcome to the sketch phase. It's a little chaotic. Again, we see very solid shapes. You can tell there's not many differences from the fully rendered image to this one. I really had a very specific idea of what I wanted to do here. Nothing too sketched, nothing too crazy, but overall a very solid sketch phase. So let's get right into the line work phase. So I think this line work looks really cool, and I did a really good job rendering it through. There's a lot of details within this piece that may remind you, maybe not, of a piece I did a couple weeks ago. I posted. It was the double-mouthed dragon piece, and I made this piece after the double-mouthed dragon piece and was definitely inspired by that piece to make something like that again. And I thought a shark of all things would be a really cool thing to render, but obviously there's so many great details. The line work looks great, so let's get into the fully rendered image and talk deeper about it. All right, tooth-finned string gilled shark. Super sick piece. One I have up in my apartment right now. One I love to display. One I love to put in my portfolio. One I love to share with people. And I think the colors look so sick on this shark. A lot of super cool stuff going on. Definitely one of my best pieces I've made and favorite pieces I've made. And again, this was an inspiration of that double-mouthed dragon. So you can tell I was really cooking it onto something, and I really made something special and something I'm really proud of. So let's talk about some of the great stuff that's going on here. I guess starting at the bottom of the image, we have this tusk, or this tooth, you could say, coming out of this shark's twisted and windy mouth here, and it's impaling this little tiny fish here, which is pretty funny. And that fish's tongue is sticking out of his mouth and wrapping around that tusk or tooth, whatever you want to call it. And you can kind of see that happening in the cast shadow behind the shark too. So his other tusk is also impaling another fish, you can see there, which is just a cool little detail, and one I'm noticing now and forgot about, and I'm really proud of. I think another thing really cool about this shark is the teeth themselves. You can see this tooth is actually going through another tooth, which is pretty cool. This tooth is like a double-ended tooth, and it's splitting through the top of the mouth. See it coming out the right and the left, kind of starting there. So there's a lot of really cool teeth here, and sharks have really crazy teeth, so I definitely took inspiration from that. And overall, this mouth looks really sick. We got his tongue flying out to the right side there too. Not a very big tongue, but still kind of funny. We see a lot of rings going around the shark, which is just a cool little contrast from the blue. Just those nice little yellow rings, something I added a lot of back in the day. We have a ring there doing some stuff we'll talk about soon. Some rings up there, a ring holding those two fins together, a ring over there, so that's pretty cool. I guess we can go back to that first ring on the nose. It's kind of winding around from this ring and holding this chain, and in that chain's like holding like a tag. I guess for this I was thinking of how scientists tag sharks and dolphins and stuff, and I don't know, I wanted to make it look like a little barcode and put my signature in there, so it's a nice little area to sneak my signature in, and that looks pretty cool, so I really like how that looks. Moving into some of the gills, I think the gills were something I was really proud of, and definitely a part of the title, string gilled shark. So in these gills there's like stringed balls, kind of like, I don't know, I thought of some like underwater plant life and how that stuff looked around animals, and just really dove into the idea of the sea. And there's a lot of aspects here we'll get into that you'll see that I definitely pulled inspiration from that as well. But the gills look really cool. You can see they're very jagged. They're not it's not like one line or slit. It's a very jagged gill, and we see a lot of those string balls coming out of it, which looks really cool. Coming through the middle of the shark, we have a spear here. That's a pretty cool spear head design, but you can see it going through the middle of the body and looping out right there. But around that spear is a chain, and that chain's coming out of a cannon that's in the main dorsal, or whatever, the dorsal fin, I don't know, the main fin of this shark, which is such a cool idea. I mean, sharks, pirates, cannons, I don't know, just playing along with all that. And as you can see, that chain right there goes around into this eyeball and busts out of the eyeball in that cast shadow, up and around, and you can see the end of that cannonball chain spear right there. So there's a lot of really cool details in the cast shadows, as I showed before, that are really cool. Oh, you can see some strings coming out of the nostril hole there, which is a cool little thing. So a lot of really small, really cool details within this piece that I really like. But this shark's getting messed up. I also really like his eyeball, how I rendered his eyeball. I usually make eyeballs, if you haven't seen already, pretty much the same throughout. This eyeball's rendered a little bit different than most eyeballs that I do, but overall it looks really, really cool. So I'm proud of that. We got the wick on the cannon there, which is another cool little detail. Coming out of that main fin as well are some more string gills, and you can see that the cannon actually shot 2 chains, and that other chain's going in the fin there, out the fin, in the fin, out the fin, curling around in the fin, and it's actually this blade that's stuck in the back of the shark right there. So he basically shot himself. Yep. And anyways, moving back towards the tail end of the shark, something that I don't know, I've always drawn fish, but the fins and the tails were always like a very interesting part. You can kind of make them whatever shape you want, rounded, sharp. Here I went insane. I did, and again, the title, tooth finned. We have a tooth back fin, and it just looks sick. I mean, you can see the tail end of this shark just looks absolutely stylized and crazy and jagged and sharp, and just looks really cool. And making that into a jagged teeth mouth, I mean, come on, this piece looks absolutely sick. Again, you can go into my store and buy yourself some prints of this piece as well. Get yourself a print, throw it up on the wall. Looks really, really cool in real life. Yeah, let's talk about some of that. The tail itself, we got some rings on the back like we said before, but going through that tail mouth, if you will, is like a pirate flag, and that pirate flag has my logo in it, as always, hidden somewhere around the piece. And as you can see, those teeth as well are very crazy and doing some pretty crazy stuff. So that one's like going out and curling in and going through, and this one's like a double ender again. But overall, that is toothfin string gilled shark. Again, link in the description to my link tree to my imprint store. Get yourself a piece, get yourself a print of this piece. It looks super, super cool. A lot of great details. If there was something in this piece y'all really liked, leave it in the comments below. Let me know. I really enjoyed making this piece. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.